To make butter, we are going to start with cream. I'm going to do about a quart of butter, or a quart of cream, and I have a small food processor here, so I just do 2 pints at a time. For every pint of cream, I put in half a teaspoon of sea salt. That just gives it a little flavoring. If you prefer unsalted butter, you just leave that out. And you're going to run this. I've let this cream warm to room temperature. That just speeds it up a little bit. You can do it cold from the refrigerator if you prefer. You just have to run the machine a little bit longer. So we're just going to run the food processor for a few minutes, and I'm going to time it for you precisely and show you what it looks like at the end. Now, as the machine is running, I want you to take note of a couple of things. One is the sound is going to change as the cream starts to coagulate. The level of the liquid will start to drop down, and you'll hear a change in the sound, and then as it pulls away from the whey, that liquid will start to come up and the sound will change again, and I'm going to point that out to you as we go. Okay, here's the butter that's been churned. You can see here, this is the solids that have pulled together and pulled away from the liquid whey there. And what we're going to do is just dump this in a bowl, and we're going to put this in the refrigerator and let this the milk fats harden, which makes it easier then to form the butter into a ball. So we're going to let that get completely cool, probably about 4 hours in the refrigerator. Okay, to finish up our butter, we're going to take the butter that's been in the refrigerator, and you can see that now the solids have gotten quite hard, which will make them much easier to pull together than when they're very soft at room temperature. So we start out, I'm going to collect the hardened pieces of the butter away from the buttermilk. This is actually called buttermilk, even though it's not cultured the way the other buttermilk is. And I'm just going to take that and gather that into a nice ball and pour off the rest of the milk. And then I'm going to add some more cold water just from the tap. You want to make it as cold as possible, because otherwise the butter starts to melt in your hands. But what we're going to do is we're going to rinse this butter, and you kind of keep rolling it in your hands, molding it, and rinsing it as you go. And you'll see that the water will take on a milky appearance as I do that. Simply because more of the buttermilk will come out, and this will keep it from going rancid. If you don't do this, I learned the hard way. I kept making the butter and forming it into a nice little mound, and then the next day I'd go to eat it and it would have kind of a rancid flavor to it. So I had to ask the wife of the dairy farmer where I get my raw milk how you do that, and this was what she explained to me. You have to keep rinsing. Essentially, it's called rinsing, but my water's not quite cold, and so the butter's melting in my hands. Get that water as cold as you can. So I'll put in some fresh water, and I'll keep squeezing that in there. And I'm going to keep doing this until the water does not take on a milky appearance when I do that. And that will show me that pretty much all of the liquid milk has come out of the butter, and it's just the fat solids that I have left. So it's a little bit milky again. I'm going to pour it off, add some fresh water. And do the same thing here. That's pretty good. That water's not getting too milky at all. So once I have done that a few times, I'm going to take my butter. You can fold it. I like to fold it into rolls, and then I'm just going to roll that up. And you can use a container if you want, or you can use plastic wrap. I've done plastic wrap, and then I freeze this until I'm ready to use that. And you roll it up, put it in the freezer, and you'll have your butter ready when you want it.